How to use this period when training is restricted and we're all spending a bit more time in the home sensibly in order to push forward your training. Sure, you could sit at home and mourn the fact that you're not able to go and run perhaps as frequently or as far as you'd like to. Or you could see this period as an opportunity to work on some of the things that you know you've been neglecting over recent months and years. So the first thing I would do is get the training diaries out. It's a time and a period when it's really good to go through a bit of a review. Look back over those diaries for the last 6 months, 12 months, perhaps 18 months, and definitely pick out some of the things that went well, because they're really important. We're going to take those forwards. We're going to improve them, refine them, polish them to make them even better. But we also need to look at some of the things that perhaps didn't go quite so well and draw the learning from that and set in place some actions in order to improve those things going forward. So with the athletes I coach, we go for a big long spreadsheet where we're going to cover a whole range of different components of running and consider where we are now and score ourselves out of 10 and consider how important each area is. And for the really important areas where we know there's a bit of a gap between where we are now and where we want to be, we'll set in place an action plan in perhaps 5, 6, 7 areas to really work on over the next few months. And that's going to cover things like, sure, physical aspects of fitness, speed, strength, endurance, drills, flexibility, all that good stuff. But it's also going to cover things like nutrition. It's going to cover psychology. Do you have your mental skills training where you want it to be? It's going to cover things like race tactics. It's going to cover form, technique, biomechanics. So a lot of those areas that we kind of know are important to running, but we tend to neglect because we just pull our running shoes on and get out the door. So go through that reviewing process and be really honest with yourself and start to action some of those areas that we know we can improve, particularly the areas that you can do easily at home. So it might sound a cliche, but it definitely is a good time to start to work on some sound, common sense strength and conditioning, pushing, pulling exercises, squatting, lunging exercises. You can do these, if you're new to it, body weight. That's great because you run body weight only. So there's nothing wrong with body weight exercises. If you are competent with it and you start to improve, there's loads of ways, even if you don't have weights at home, to start to take a bit more load. We can fill up drinks bottles with water or sand. We can take tin cans and put them in a bag and slip the bag over your shoulders to add additional weight to some of these exercises if it's relevant to you. So get creative, use what you've got around the home, but try to make time for this. And I'd say these things, these stretching, flexibility, conditioning, they pay most dividends when we do them frequently. So I would much rather, as a coach, have you do a good core and general strength and conditioning session, perhaps 2, 3, actually ideally 4 or 5 times a week in just short sessions, perhaps 20 minutes, than I would one big 60 to 75 minute conditioning session each week. So small and often is a great way to go. Look at your nutrition, because that's a really key area. We've got a bit more time in the home. We can start to cook. We can enjoy getting in the kitchen and mixing up the range of foods that we eat and really starting to get back cooking from scratch again and trying to improve the quality and range of what we eat. But it's also a chance to see how your body copes with a bit of extra recovery. Perhaps you do have time to now get in place that good pre-bedtime routine so you can get to bed nice and early in order to get a full 8+ hours of sleep or whatever it is that's going to work for you. Perhaps you now do have the opportunity to put away the smartphone in that last 60 to 90 minutes before you go to sleep in order to improve the quality of your sleep. So use this period as an opportunity. Reflect, review, set yourself a little action plan, but do work on some of the things where you really can move your fitness forwards over coming months. We're going to add sessions on drills, on strength and conditioning, so do check out our other videos for top tips on how to do that. Good luck. We will be back out running as we want to do soon, but use this period wisely and it will really help you going forward.